Today, Triumph announced the new Street Triple R, which sits between the range-topping Street Triple RS and the entry-level Street Triple S, and it comes at an all-new low price. So in today's video, we're going to take a look at the specs in detail and see how it compares to the other models and perhaps how they've managed to bring that price down. But before we start, if you're new here and you want to get the latest motorcycling news right here on YouTube, then don't forget to hit subscribe. The new Street Triple R is more evolution than revolution, but there are some nice tweaks that bring it up to date for 2020. Engine performance figures remain the same as the last model, with a peak power of 118 PS at 12,000 RPM and a peak torque of 77 Nm at 9,400 RPM. But it inherits some of the changes made to the engine internals of the RS, which have trickled down from the Moto 2 project, with a 7% reduction in rotational inertia. Triumph say that the result is a more responsive feel at the throttle, with the engine spinning up quicker. The airbox and exhaust system have also been redesigned to meet Euro 5 emission regulations, but Triumph took the opportunity to tweak the sound, which they say is crisper, purer, and even more distinctive. The RS sounds epic, which I found out firsthand on the launch last year. So if that's anything to go by, the R should sound great too. The chassis remains the same, as do the 41mm Showa upside down big piston separate function forks and Showa piggyback reservoir monoshock, both of which are fully adjustable. The Brembo M4.32 4-piston radial monoblock calipers on 310mm discs at the front and single Brembo at the rear are also retained, as are the Pirelli Rosso 3 tyres. The previous generation already had Triumph's slip assist clutch, which makes for a lighter lever action than a traditional clutch, as well as preventing rear wheel lockup on aggressive downshifts. But the new R now comes with Triumph's shift assist up and down quick shifter as standard, which is great news for riders who want to push on. This is another piece of tech that I got to sample on the RS launch, and I've got to say it works really well both at high revs as well as a more tranquil road riding pace in the mid-range. Elsewhere, the R has a styling update with the new headlights with frowny daytime running lights, revised bodywork such as the fly screen, radiator guards and seat unit, and a new look to the exhaust and mirrors. It'll be available in sapphire black or matte silver ice, with both colour schemes featuring red and silver decals, hand-painted red pinstripes on the wheels, and the signature Street Triple R red rear subframe. So in summary, a similar bike to the last one, but with updated styling, a quicker spinning motor, a better sound, and a quick shifter, all for a bit less cash. So how did they bring the price down by 400 quid? The last one was 9,300 and this comes in at 8,900. The major absence in equipment from the last year model is the 5-inch Tft Screen. You now get a more basic part digital, part analog dash, which has been seen on previous Street Triple bikes as well as the current S. Not only does the TFT of the previous generation and new RS look great and make for easy reading, but it comes with connectivity like the My Triumph app, which enables turn-by-turn navigation, controlling phone calls and music from the switchgear, and also controlling a GoPro should you wish. So it seems like the R is intended as more of a rider's bike now, with a better price and slightly better equipment, but doing away with some electronics. Some people might even prefer this. I get plenty of comments saying that bikes are too technologically complex nowadays, and that it's better just to leave your phone in your pocket and enjoy the ride. So the cheaper price, lesser tech, an addition of a quick shifter, better exhaust note and livelier throttle response might be just the tonic for people of that mindset. It seems as though Triumph have tried to create a bit more distinction in the Street Triple range. The S is now only available in the A2 friendly version, with a 660cc engine capable of 47 horsepower and 60 Nm of peak torque out of the factory, but it can be de-restricted at a dealer once the rider has done their full license, which will open up 94 horsepower and 66 Nm. So this is clearly positioned as the entry-level model and priced accordingly at £7,900. The RS is the most premium model, of course, with all the bells and whistles. It has 3 more horsepower, 2 more Nm of peak torque, and it's a couple of kilograms lighter than the R2. Equipment is better with a fully adjustable Öhlins STX piggyback reservoir monoshock and Brembo M50 4-piston radial monoblock front calipers and a Brembo ratio and span adjustable brake lever. Tyres are up spec too, with Pirelli's latest generation high-performance Diablo Super Corsa V3s, and finishing is slightly more premium with bar and mirrors and carbon trim on the exhaust. And then with that TFT dash, you get a whole range of extra tech and connectivity. So yes, the R is now cheaper despite some improvements in spec, but perhaps the real story here is how good value the RS now looks in relation to the next model down. At £10,300, it's a £1,400 difference for quite a lot more in terms of specs and tech. I'm interested to know which camp you guys fall into. Would you prefer a cheaper motorcycle without the electronics like phone connectivity and a modern screen? Or do you like to have the latest gadgets on your bike even if it costs you a little bit more? I think I fall into the latter group. I tried out some of the phone connectivity and navigation features on the Tiger 900 launch last week, and it was really pretty good. It's much more convenient to get turn by turn on the screen instead of mounting your phone or sat nav on the bars, and you may as well get all of the music and calling control to your headset bundled in then. But I'm sure there are plenty of you who couldn't care less and just want a quick bike without the bother and extra cost of the gadgets. So let me know your take in the comments below, and if you're new here and you want to see more videos like this, hit subscribe and I'll catch you next time.